Hello, bro. Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah. You're audible, bro.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to the today's session of our um, project. We are going with the project now. This is the last few sessions that are remaining, and today is the day when we'll be adding some sort of functionalities. We'll be learning some new things. Yesterday we have learned about stack widget and position widget. We positioned all these things that you can see on my screen, right? And everything here is in a stack. You guys also implemented it. We had some screenshots also. So let's move further with designing this. Now, as you know that in my design, in our Figma design, we had this in mostly all screen. This particularly top one, right? The top thing that you are seeing here, this was in every screen, right? So what we can do is like the most optimal way of taking this and pasting it everywhere is like either you can just copy paste the code and that's it, right? Otherwise, what you can do is like, is there a way that we can make it like a custom thing? Like we can just wrap it up with something and use it in all our screens, right? So that we don't have to write that long code again and again, right? So yes, you have some things like that. We will be seeing today, first of all, about how to make our own custom widget. Okay. Custom widget basically means, see, you have a row, you have a column, you have a container. These widgets are given by Flutter, right? These widgets are given by Flutter. But is it possible that you can make something of your own and you can use it in your code wherever you want? So yes, you can do that by wrapping up certain things. What you can do is you can just if you see here the tree, the widget tree, you have a column. Inside the column you had a stack, right? Now we require this stack in basically all our screens, right? So what I can do is just I can you know take this guy out and remove, or actually we don't have an option in our Android Studio, it seems. Okay, so we don't have an option of doing that in this. So what we can do is actually, it will be a big task. Okay, fine. Let's make our custom widget. Make a new folder in your directory, in your lib folder directory. Sorry, named as custom widgets. Okay, and in my custom widget again, I will make a new dart file and name it as maybe top widget. Okay, top widget. I'm naming it as a top widget. I'm not going to copy the code for this button. Button will be outside. I will be just taking that particular, um, this thing behind that particular purple thing. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. What we can do is basically we will be have to is we have to take this whole code, our stack, just take it from top to bottom. Okay, take it. Okay, just cut it out. Just cut it out. Come in your top widget, make a stateless widget here and name it as again top widget, whatever you want. Okay, and import your material library. And just paste it here. That's it. Just paste it here. That's it. And you will be prompted with some errors. So that is like importing all the libraries that you have used. Just add those libraries here. Okay, and that's it. That's it. So this is our, just we pasted, copy pasted the stack code from there and we pasted it here. And similarly here, what now I can do is I can just write here top widget and it will catch it alone, and that's it. If I first of all, let's remove this and check what do I get. So obviously this will get removed from here, right? This will get removed because we have removed all the code. But as soon as I uncomment it and again I try to restart it, reload it, you can see everything comes. So basically we made our custom widget, and how did we do that is we just took the purple thing, we took the code of that purple thing and we kept it here, right? Now, now, that button that we have here, this button that you have is not going to be in all our screens. Every screen has a different layout, right? Like this has a button, but these all don't have a button. These are like a question box is there, four answer options are there, and one button. So only the purple thing that I have behind this is to be made custom. Other things I don't can't make it custom. Okay. Okay. So what we will do is we will just remove that button code from here, from this position widget. I'll just remove it from here. Again, I will give it a reload and you can see that button code is gone here. And here I can come and I can wrap this top widget again into a stack. From here I can come and put it into a stack, and below the top widget I can add that and I will receive it again the same thing. Okay. So with this, actually, what benefit that you get is that now in our other screens, suppose when you we like in our other screens, we want to make this particular big box, that purple box. I don't have to come copy that 90 or 70 or 80 lines of code and paste it everywhere. So for that, I just made a custom widget. Everything is here, and I am just using the name of that class. That's it. Okay, so this is nothing but making custom widgets by your own. It's like that. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you understood this. And other than that, also, if you want that this quiz image of this quiz can change, you can do that as well. Okay. Suppose I want that there should be something else, some other image. I can do that as well. Okay. I have to just remove that particularly where it is. It's a PNG image, I suppose. Yeah, this one. I can remove this path from here and I can just keep it as a variable. Okay. But currently, I don't think so. I'm going to do that because we don't need to add any other image. Okay. So what we can do is now we have everything ready. Till here, I didn't do any changes. I have just, reshuffled some of my code and made it a bit more stronger. So does anyone any doubt till now? Make your code like this because for the next few screens, we require it. Okay, for the next few screens, we require that. So any doubt related to this that we did here, or you guys want me to repeat it? So let's move forward and okay. So when I click on this button, I need to move. Actually, I didn't delete anything. Actually, what I have done, Krishna, is that this code which I had, this whole stack I had into my intro screen, right? I had it here, right? Here I had somewhere. I just pasted it here. Sorry, I just copied the whole stack from the here, and I kept it in a new file. Okay, in a new stateless widget. Okay, and in that stateless widget, I just pasted that whole code. One thing that I removed from here is the elevated button. Why did I remove this? Because that elevated button is not required in all my screens. Okay, every screen is gonna have some different content. Okay, so here you have a button, here you have some question on options, and then a button, next button. So like this. That's why I removed it. Okay, and that is the part I deleted. Maybe you can say, but no, I shuffled it here. Okay, sir. So let's move forward now, and we will be now, yeah, so we have to navigate to this screen, right? On the press of this button, on clicking this button, I should get navigated to this page. So now let's see the functionality of navigations, and we'll be seeing some theoretical part, 5 minutes maybe. What is elevated button, sorry, what is on pressed method and how does it works? Okay, how a navigation in Flutter So let's see that. See, you know the concept of a stack now, right? So it will be a bit more easier. Navigations in Flutter work as a sort of, you have a stack which keeps a track of all your pages, all your navigations that you have inserted in your Flutter or on your application. So suppose I have the first screen. This screen was intro screen, right? I had this intro screen. So this is my intro screen. Suppose this is my device. This is my intro screen. I get navigated to a second screen. Maybe let's call it as quiz screen. Quiz screen. So that quiz screen is gonna come and sit on top of this. Okay. Now, this is not compulsory that I have to keep this intro screen here. I have options that yes, I can remove the particular below page and I can show a new page. I have an option that, push. Yeah, I can just remove this. Like, it's like I just remove this and shift this page. Okay. See, one option is that I have this page, old page, I can just keep something on it. Okay. Then again, this is how a navigation stack, this word navigation stack, is maintained. Okay. Second option I have is I can just remove it out. I just remove it out and I keep a new page. I can see, I just remove it out and I keep a new page. So you don't have any option now to go back. Why? Because you don't have anything below it, right? Right, basically when you use a pop thing, I will show you what keywords do we have for that. Okay. But when we use a pop word keyword, it's basically that whatever navigation stack you will have below it, all are gone. Okay. So yeah, you have three methods basically: push, pop, and push and remove, until three methods basically. And then based on that, you have some, named routes and all these things. So we'll be not going much deep into it. We will be using our own for now. So currently, what do you think? So like once we have intro screen and the user presses on that button, Flutter button, the new navigation comes. So do we need to keep this below? Do we need to keep this below, or can I remove it? Like logically, if you are playing some quiz application, when you enter into the quiz screen, what do you think? On pressing the back button, should I take the user back to that screen, or I should remove, like maybe I can go to some other screen? What do you guys think? Logically, I should remove the below navigation, or I should send him to a new page, or I should allow the user to quit the application directly as soon as he clicks on that back button after entering the quiz screen. Okay, so redirect to login page. Actually, we are not currently having any login functionality and all, but yeah, we can send him to back to the start button, right? We can send him back to the starting page. Yeah, we can send him. Logically, yes, we can send him. So I will now do all the three methods and show you what basically happens. Okay. So you have some functionality, you have some keywords that you use. That is navigator. Okay, navigator, you can see it came dot. Now you need to remove, you have to remember some methods. This pop, push named, leave this named routes. Pop and push remove, remember this, and push and remove until this one, and push replacement. Yeah, four methods you have. Okay. Okay. Pop, push, push replacement, and pop, push and remove until. Cool. So let's add this push one first of all. Let's see all one by one. Navigator dot push, I'm going to use context. It will be using some context. I hope you remember what context means. It keeps a track of, it's like an address of that particular widget, right? And in route, you need to give the route now. Okay. Now, how do you give that? See, you have to write here material page, material page route. Okay. In your builder, again, you have to give a context, and then you need to send to the screen that you want to send. I'll just explain you. Just give me a second. I want to transfer the user to the quiz screen. Okay, currently I don't have any quiz screen. Just let's write the name for now. I will copy this particular thing also, so that in the new screen I can directly use that, and that's it. Okay, that's it. Currently I don't have any sort of that quiz screen, so that's why it is showing me an error. Okay, I need to make it out. I need to make it. Okay, but let's see what is this functionality doing and what. Yeah, you have to remember this code a bit. You have to remember it. You have to remember this code actually. Navigator dot push. Then two things will come: context, comma builder. In builder, you have to use material page route. This is again a widget that actually is responsible for transferring or adding a new page. Okay, to the stack, navigation stack. Okay. Yes, literally, it's a stack. Navigator, is particularly runs on a data stack data structure. Okay, maybe I don't know whether they have this code or not of stack using a stack, but I believe that yeah. So you can see because it has a own stack of internal state. There are a lot of words you will find with the this thing. Navigator is history stack offer the. So you can read this and you can actually get to know what all other things you have. Okay, it runs on a stack. So as I told you. Okay, so let's close this navigator thing. Yeah, so this is how a push method is going to work. You have this screen, that intro screen that you have, it's not going to disappear. Basically, the quiz screen will come on top of this. Okay, it will be pushed on top of this. You have this, so you can go back and you can again access the intro page. Let's make a quiz screen also. Here you have, let's make this as a stateless widget for now. Maybe later we can change. Okay, so I will just make this out and I will import the material package also. And just for a you know seeing that what do we have here, I will just make a app bar test, just a test app bar. Okay, okay, cool. Not much, not much. Need to wrap it up in a app bar. So app bar, sorry, I forget it title. Okay, so this is how you are gonna work, right? So I just made a basic thing to see what output am I gonna get. Okay, let's move on here and let's import that particular file that you have made. Okay, so now let's try to reload and check do we get or not. Okay, let's try to reload and check whether our navigation works or not. This is my page. Let me note it. So when I go to this navigation, you can see that you have already you have a back button. I didn't keep it. Hello, that app bar you have made. So you will have this text, obviously. Okay. So this is my new screen that I have added, and this is added into a stack. And so as you click back button, you will again get back to that particular page. Again, I click on it. I go back here. Again, so this is how a navigation stack is maintained. Now, suppose I want to add here something like I don't want to keep here this back button. Basically, I don't want to use it to give the ability of going back to this page. So what I can do is I have another method. You don't have to change anything. You just have to change the name, push and remove until. So once you use this, what happened? Yeah, actually one more thing you need to add. You have a parameter here. You have a parameter when you use this that is called route, and you have to put this as I guess true or false. Yeah, let's give it as true. When you give it a true, then see what happens, and when you give it a false, see what happens. So in true it will allow, but when you use a false, then it will not allow you. Now if I go here, you can see that I can't go back, and if I try to go back, it is going to close the application. That's it. Okay, need to go back to the application again. It's not going to take me. So this is how push is working. You saw push and remove until also. Now let's see pop. Let's see pop. Pop is basically not a navigation. You can't give a navigation to a next page. Okay, what it does, I'll show you. What it is gonna do, I'll show you. Okay. You have a navigation stack here. When I did a push, a new screen comes on top of this. When I do the push and remove until it, a new screen comes, but below everything goes. Okay. And when I use a pop, then what happens? See, suppose I'm on this screen, and I have a button. I have a back button basically. When I click on that back button, obviously I want the user to get redirected to this page. So I'll just write there navigator.pop, and that's it. The user can come here back. Okay, but make sure that this navigation should be a push, then like this screen you have, right? When you obviously you have some button or some functionality that is kicking the user on this page, right? Make sure that whatever functionality you have here should be a push and not this particular push and remove until. If you have this, then pop will not work. Okay, pop will directly take him back to the quit the application. So I'll make it as true, and I'll show you how a pop works. I can go back to the quiz screen. Okay, I can go back here, and here in my body, I'll just make a small sort of button. I'll just make a column. This is just a test thing. Even if you don't do this, it's okay. Just for teaching. Okay, elevated button, and in my elevated button, I'm gonna use navigator dot pop. That's it. That's it. Okay, and put a semicolon in my child. Let me give it as text. Go back. Okay, let's see what happens. So when I go here, I have a button called go back, and as I have given the navigator dot pop, what it is gonna do for me is when I click on this, it takes me back to this screen. Okay, but by chance I have done it as true. If I do it as false now, and then I try the same thing, I will have a back button here. But when I click on it, the applications actually no, it has came to a state where there is the navigation stack is empty. There is nothing in the navigation stack. Okay, that's why it's like this. Okay, so yeah, make sure that you are ready to play with this push, pop, push and remove until and all these things. Okay, it's very basic thing, what push does, what pop does, what this particular thing does. Okay, so yeah, and one more thing was there, push replacement. So it's like below, suppose you have 4 or 5 navigation stacks, 1 2 3 4, something like that. And when you use a push replacement, the new screen comes and pushes this one drops, but below all the things are there. So basically you are just, someone is standing in a line, you push him out and you go and stand there. That doesn't mean that the front people who are standing in front, it's gonna break. No, those people are gonna get be there only. That person particularly whom you have pushed is gonna get out of that particular line, right? Same thing, push replacement also works. Okay, so this is how navigation, basic navigation things, these are you even if you don't remember the theoretical part in it, that's not a very big deal, but you need to remember this code, this particular these 3 lines are very important. People forget this: material, page, route, builder, context, and the next navigation where you want to send. So this is my quiz screen. Now we'll be preparing this. Now we will be preparing this. Okay, this screen. To prepare the screen, obviously I don't need an app bar first of all. So I'll remove this out. Okay. In my column, I don't require an elevated button that I made here. I basically require that top widget that we have made. So let's call it here. Let's make it, call it here. And that's why see, you can see it is easily, it's in front of you, right? Yeah, you can always keep it in a safe area, this column. You can always wrap it up with a safe area that will work out. Okay, and yeah, so now you have it here, and we want that we have a question here. Yeah, we want a box like this here, right? We want a container like this here, and obviously this is a work of a stack widget, right? This question which you are seeing here, this is work of a stack widget. So we want the box here somewhere, right? So let's do that. We'll just wrap this top widget, or yeah, we can wrap this top widget into a stack now. the bulb. So you can just wrap it into a stack again. Okay. And after the top widget, I'm gonna keep the button, sorry, the container here. Container, let's just align for now. I will not give it the decorations and all. Just make it 100 maybe, and height, let it give it as 100 itself directly. And let's just for now give it a color and check where does it appears, where does it comes. So as I told you, as it is in a stack, and yesterday I have explained you very thoroughly that the Flutter's pen starts from the top left corner from here. So you can just use the position widget to position wherever you want in the screen, right? So what we will do is we'll just is the container. I'll wrap it up into a and positioned widget, and we'll give a top, left, all these things. So top, I'll give it as maybe for now. Let's give it as, it's not gonna work out. Cool. So it is coming somewhere here, but I want it here, right? First of all, let's make it of size, this size. So either you can just check the height and width here itself from here in the Figma, you can find it out 138 and 316, right? You can see here directly, you can see here. Just tap on that box and you can see the width and height. So I will use the same things, 316 and 138, 316 and 138. That's it. Okay, and let's give it now let's remove the color from here and let's give it the decoration. I hope you remember that container has something called decoration, and my decoration I have something called box decoration. So I want you guys to prepare this container by your own, the rounded borders by your own. Okay, please do that. So for making the rounded borders, what did we have? We had something called border radius, and directly we can give it a border radius dot circular, maybe border radius dot circular, and here we can give it the circularity. But yeah, we won't see it because we don't have any color for it. Let's give it the color also, and let's give it color as currently just for checking red. So you can see that it has a circularity also. Now let's now position it here somewhere. Okay, let's now position it somewhere there. So to do that, let's play with the top and left, right, whatever you have. Yeah, from left, I will be placing it as 200 was about experience. Okay, so now it's looking a bit centered, right? Cool. And now we can give it a white color. If you give it now, it can be seen. Okay. Yeah. So let's compare it from here. Yeah. So now you can see that you have achieved something like this, like how you wanted it here. You have seen, you can see it here now. Okay. If you want, you can put it a bit down if you want, just by increasing this. Okay. Right. So it's looking very much similar to this, right? And similarly, you can construct these four boxes, but wait, don't do this all the four boxes. I will teach you how do you generate these four, okay, these four. For now, currently, just take my words and just, keep this container here. And what do you do is you just try to take it as a custom widget. So same thing, you have to just copy the code for container. That's why I say to use a, uh, VS Code. Just remove this from here and just make a new custom widget named as maybe, custom container. Make a stateless widget, paste it, custom container, and paste the code here. And import the material library. Okay, done. Done. And here you can again take that custom container that you made just from. Okay, so here you can see that I just made the container custom. Okay, I just made the container custom. Okay, all are making with me. Hands. Okay, only okay. Yeah, we made it custom, but yeah, we can always have the like superiority of changing the width and height to the user or to the developer. So for that, what I will do, I will make this as custom, the height and width. And how do I do that? Is I will just write here. I'll just write here double, as it is a double data type. You can just check from here. You can just hover on it, and you will find that the data type of width is double. So either you can just copy it out and paste it, or you can write by your own also. That's not a big deal. Double and width, same thing you will do, and you will get it for height also. Okay, and I'll just copy, or maybe I'll just copy this out. And yeah, you need to add it in the constructor also. You need to add it in the constructor also. I can just remove this out. You can just add it in the constructor also. Just remove this out, and you can write here. Um, as this is a required thing, see, we have to give the user, like we have to prompt the user every time he is using our custom, container. We have to tell him that without entering the height and width, you can't use our container or you can't use my container. Okay. So for that, I have used this required keyword. If you remove this, basically, our widget of the user for this. Okay. Our custom container will not ask the user for the height and width. If you want, you can use a const here. Okay, but it will not take. Okay. So yeah, just so yeah, you can see that here it is asking, telling me to the named parameter height is required and there is no corresponding argument, and similarly for width also, because we have kept there the required keyword. If I remove this required keyword, you will see that it will not show me an error there, and it will, you can just construct it out. But yeah, you will not see the container here. Maybe yeah, we didn't remove it, right? Just remove it and write it here a bit. Whatever width the user gives, whatever height the user gives, we are going to use that instead of our thing. So you can see that it got removed from here. So you have to give the height and width here, and then you can use it. Okay. So that's why I gave it as required. And yeah, now I will add here the width that was 316, I guess. Yeah. And height I was 138. Cool. And now you can see your output, right? Cool. So this is how we are working on it. Now, next thing is to write this text inside it, the question and some question, right? So before adding all the questions that you are, so we will take some random 5 questions about Flutter. We will take about 5 questions and we will show them. Okay. But I'm not going to make separate screens for all the questions. See, I'm not gonna make separate screen. Like, see, what is gonna change in this screen? In this screen, I will have a question and 4 options and the next button, right? The next screen also looks the same. The question will change, the options will change. The next screen also looks the same. The question will change, the options will change, right? So why do I need to construct a new page every now and then? We have a change in the question. Why should we do that? Can't we have on the same screen, just we can change the content as the user clicks on next button? Huh? We can do that. We can do that always. We are going to use something called page builder, but pause that now. We'll see. We'll just add some questions first of all. We'll get some questions about Flutter from our, Google. We'll Google it out. Let's search here some questions on Flutter, 5 to 6 maybe. 5 quiz questions on Flutter. Let's try to find. Okay, let it be. So here you have some questions. Okay, you can just take it out. Okay. Before that, just give me a second. I'll just put my Fan on. Okay, yeah. So, um, as I told you that we are going to show 5 questions. Okay, so here are our questions. But before adding the questions, what I will do is I will prepare a data type, my own data type. Okay, that is gonna um, look like a quiz question, like sort of, how do I say that? A model for my quiz question. How does it looks? It is gonna have a question, 4 options, and a correct answer. That's it. Okay. And basically, we are going to work on the options thing. So, first option is right. We'll give the A option, something like that. Okay. How do I do that? I'll explain you by coding. Let's make a new directory here again and let's give it as models. Okay. And a new file named as question model. Cool. Now, in my question model, I will be having you know, my own data type. Let's name it as question model. Okay. And this is gonna kind of look like first of all I will have a text, so it will be a string question text. Okay, this is the text for the question, so it is asking me something non-nullable. Okay, so I need to give a mark here. Yeah, along with that I will be having 4 options, right? As I told you, 4 options. So for 4 options, what I can do, any idea, like any sort of data type that is going to keep 4 objects or 4 strings? So yes, we can make a list of 4 strings, right? We can always have a list. Okay, list of what data type do I have? I will have a string data type, and let's name it as answers. And the size for this, I will keep it as 4. Okay, so in Dart, we keep it as like this, I guess. Not label or what? How do I do that? 4 size. Do that, wait. And one more string that will be storing the correct answer. Okay, correct answer, basically the option of the correct answer. Okay, so let's name it as correct answer. Yeah, that's it. And why do I keep a question mark here? Basically, is that is a bit concept. You have to read it out in some documentation. So Dart works on nullable and non-nullable instances. So some instance in Dart are like, you can't keep it, the value can't be null for it. Okay. So like you have to tell Dart that when I put a question mark, that don't worry, it's not going to be null. The user has to, feed some value to it, or later maybe the developer is going to feed some value to it. So you're going to basically tell Dart that don't worry about it. Okay. So it's like that. This is a very basic question model. Maybe we have to make some modifications in it. Don't worry about that. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, I'll just take a pause and for you guys and ask that do you have any doubt till here? Do you have any doubt till here? If you have, just type it on the chat box, because I was going a bit fast, I guess. Do you have any doubt? Just ask it out. If you don't have, then type a no, at least. It's here. No one has any doubt? Some container is here. It's nothing. Just I have added a decoration. Other than that, it is nothing. Just a container. It's just a container with some border radius. That's it, and a white color. Okay. Yeah, you can give it a box shadow also, because when I will be making the other four options, I'm not gonna make some new container for the other four option. I'll be using this container only. The content will be changed. That's it. Okay. And the height and width. So when I keep that container here, I think so it won't be seen, right? So what you can do is you can just give it a box shadow. Okay, box shadow looks like something like, yeah, a list of this. But even I don't remember how do I write a box shadow. How do I write a box shadow? It's not giving me any option. Okay, I'll add that. Let me check some reference for it. Okay, so I think so you don't have any doubt. We can continue, right? So box shadow, we can add something like this actually. Um, it's actually a list. It's actually a list which has some things. So you can just add a. Actually, you can add multiple box shadows. You can mix some colors. Okay, so you have a widget called box shadow. Inside this, you have some things: color, blur, radius. Okay, so I'll use color and I will add a purple color. Box shadow for it. I'll just copy it from here itself. The color that they are using. I can get it by, yeah, here. Drop shadow. Mm, They are not giving the color to me. It will be there somewhere. Pattern prism. A bit purple only. We can just okay. Let me add here color as colors dot purple. Maybe it's not seen currently, but see, yeah, it's not seen because we are already in a purple color background, so that's why. Okay, but still, like, we can add here later when I will be making the options. Then you will see. Okay, yeah. Along with the color, you have something called blur radius, and this is gonna be a radius sort of thing. So yeah, you can give it as 2, 5, whatever you want, and let it be this much. Let it be this much. Spread radius also. Let me keep. Let it be this much. Okay. Yeah, you can see something here. See, it is having a box shadow now, right? So yeah, add this box shadow. This is a new thing for you. And actually, we don't use it much. So even if you don't remember, not a case. You can just Google it out whenever you want to use that. How to add a back box shadow to a container. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it is a list of things. So now, yeah, again, you want to mix some new color, you just copy this out, add a new color, and you will get something. You just copy it out, just paste it out, and you change the color to blue. Let's try this out. What result do we get? See, obviously, I need to reduce this out. Blur radius to maybe, let's reduce this to 1 1. Let's read what do we see here. So some purple, some purple, some bluish, right? So yeah, this is how a box shadow works. Okay, add it so that later you can have a reference for how to make a proper container with some box shadow also. Okay, so cool. Now we have this. in my question model, we were preparing the question model, right? I want to discuss some new data types. Actually, I don't know who all of you have heard about something called final and const. Okay, final and const are two keywords that you have in Dart. I don't know what other programming language do we have this, but in Dart you have two data type, you can say, or keywords, basically string. Sorry, final and const. Final and const are, sounding the same. So it's like final is like if I declare something, maybe I can't change it, and const is also sounding the same. So what is the difference between them? So see, final and const have a very small difference. Okay, you have to remember it's like runtime, compile time. What is the difference between them? Very basic difference, right? Similarly, here you have a basic difference, and the difference is that final variable, you have one chance to initialize it. So declaring and initializing, I hope you know what it is. Declaring means just declaring it. It's like a string x, that's it, or int x, that's it. I'm not initializing it with any value, so I'm not giving it a value currently. I'm just declaring it int x, that's it. Okay, so when you are using a final variable, or you can say a final keyword, you have only one chance, maybe later, to initialize it. Okay, so suppose I have final int x. Okay, let's test it this out. Let's test this out. I'll just open a new tab. I'll write dartpad. Okay, let's come here and let's try to play with this for 2 minutes. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just remove everything. I'll just have a main function. Okay, void main. Okay, so let's have a final variable, final int x. Okay, so yeah, currently you can see I don't get any error. Okay, the value of local variable x isn't used. Try removing the. Okay, so it's not an error. If I give here x equal to 5 and I print x, I'll get a value. I'll get a value. If I run it, I'll get a value called 5. Right, right. But can I change it later? X equal to 3? No. As it is a final variable, you can't change it. So the final variable x can be set only once. So this is a final variable. Cool. So I had the privilege of giving it value only once. Whereas if I remove final variable, and now if I have this, I don't have any problem. I can just copy paste it again below and I can print x 2 times. So it's like a mutable, value. X is a mutable value. You can change its value, right? But when I add a final variable, I have the privilege of declaring it, initializing it only once, that is x equal to 5. And suppose I remove this and write here const. Now you can't even declare it, initialize it once. You have to initialize it here itself. That's it. It's between const and final. Okay, again hear it. When I'm using a const keyword, that means I need to initialize and declare both at once. Okay, but when I am using a final variable, I can initialize it later on only once. Okay, only once. Either give it 3, either give it 5. You can't change it. That's it, right? So I need to change the name to maybe something else. Okay, this is what is final and const. Okay, so I hope you understood the difference between final and const variable. Okay, that's what I want to add here actually. That's what I want to add here also actually. I want to make this question allow the user, or the developer, to only add the text once. I don't want to allow him to again and again edit him. So I want to give him a privilege of only adding the question once. And yeah, let this error be there. I'll be clearing one option of removing this error is to add a question mark. Okay, but without a final keyword, or else second option I'll show you finally. Okay, let's make all these three as final. And again, take a feel of it, what I'm going to say now. See, I will have a question. I will have 4 options, and that's a list. So basically, the list works as the indexing of a list starts with. Come on, answer it fast. How indexing of a list starts? From which integer? The first index is starts from 0. Cool, right? So the 4 options that we will have, basically, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. right? So that 0, 1, 2, 3, that list of options, any one of them will be correct, right? So I can access them or access the correct answer with the index. Good logic? Good logic? Right? I can access the correct option with the index, and that will be great, right? So what you can do is I can have here, first of all, we'll see that correct answer or correct option index. Let's name it as like this. Even see, your naming is not going to make any difference, but yeah, name it in such a way that when you read it you get to understand. And we will be making a constructor for it. So basically this is nothing but just a object oriented or object oriented, in that in C++ also you will follow the same format, right? So let's do this, make a constructor for it, and you will make it as question model, and you'll be having this. Okay, so yeah, this is a constructor, and it is saying all final variables must be initialized, but answers, correct answer index, and one other aren't. So here you need to, initialize it, and that's like, required this dot question text, then comma, required this dot answers, and required this dot correct answer index. That's it. That's it. So you have now declared the constructor also. Any error do you feel you have here, or any sort of understanding error or something like that? It's basic object oriented programming. I just, declared a class called question model. The question model has a three sort of things: question text, answers, and correct answer index. And then I have a constructor for it. That's it. That's it. I guess it's easy, right? Now, whenever I declare a object out of this, when I use a object out of this, either you can use it as an object or as a data type also, custom data type. Okay. So suppose I am making a list integer. Okay. If I make a list of integer, I need to keep 4 integer in it, right? If I declare a list of, I use a list of integer. Okay. I need to keep some values in it. Right? So it's like maybe is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, anything, right? Right? And give the name of the variable. So now let's name it as test. Okay, but but okay, see, it's giving me some error. It's saying me that value of type set int can't be. Okay, sorry for that. You put it in this. You put a set inside that. I was working with that. I got confused. Okay, so yeah, list can be list is inside a square brackets. So this is how a list is made, right? And this is a list of integer values, right? And if I try to enter a string here, it's going to give me an error, maybe saying that you can't have a string, right? So that's what I was going to say, that if I declare a custom data type here, I can use it very easily. Okay, I can use it very easily as a data type. Okay, so suppose I paste this class here, and here somewhere I try to declare a list of this data type. So it's like a list of question model is equal to let's name it as questions. Okay, questions. And yes, now you can declare it out. But yeah, you have to make sure that you are entering these three things: question text, answers, and correct answer for all the that you are entering. Okay. Okay. Let's keep it as empty for now. Okay. So yeah, now question model is a question model is a sort of data type also. So I have made a custom data type called as question model, and I'm going to use that. As a data type. Okay, how do I use that now? See, I will be taking 5 set of questions. Okay, so let me make the set of questions somewhere, maybe here in this lib file directly. So let's make a new file known as question list. dot. Okay, fine. Now let's make a list of questions. Okay, how do I make it? Do I make it? As by the name I'm saying, it's gonna be a list of questions. So list, what data type will be using? The custom data type that we have made, question model. Okay, and let's name it as questions is equal to, let's keep it as empty for now. Okay, and just import this out. Just import it. That's it. And now you can make a list of questions here. Any doubt? Any doubt? Pure programming, no Flutter. Pure programming, pure object-oriented programming. Say any you know doubts? Doubts? Anyone? Or we can move on. Then let's move on. Let's making the questions. Let's make the questions now. And as it is a list, so we will be including some 5 questions. Okay, and we have to make sure that it will be in the format of question model. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Question model, and as soon as you write question model, you can see that it's prompting me to enter these three things. These three things, right? So let's do that. Let's do that. So this is good that it prompted me by its own. I don't even have to explain you why it prompted, right? So you will be seeing here if I have some questions. Let's take these questions and paste it there directly. As it is a text, I'm going to paste it as a in a double quotes. Then this is a list. This is a list, right? Answers is a list of answers of strings. So Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, copy it and just paste it raw, and then okay, we have to type it manually maybe. Facebook. Okay, I have a list of questions. I'll just copy it from somewhere and give it to you also. Okay, I'll give it to you also. Don't worry. It's in the same manner as you are seeing there. In the same manner, just the name of the model is different. Other than that, everything is same. Okay, I don't want to type it manually, so that's why I'm just using this out. Okay, I'll just change the name of this quiz question to quiz model. Okay, let's copy these options alone itself. But yeah, let's change it manually. Then nothing can be done. Quiz model. Remove this. Let's. I will wait. Just share it in the group also. Okay, don't worry. In this way. Okay. Um. Yeah. One thing I forgot. As I told you that correct answer index, we will be taking the correct answer index. So I forgot to change the data type. It should be integer, right? As it is an index value, so obviously it should be an integer, right? So change it to integer, okay? And let's copy these three first. I'll make some random, shit questions. You can add your questions later on if you want. You want to go change the questions, you can do that, okay? Cool. So these three questions, let it be, and you can just copy paste it twice more if you want. Okay. And you can make some small changes to it. Okay, so that we don't get confused whether my questions are changing or not. I'm making some small changes, nothing else. You can have a proper set of questions if you want. Just for saving time, I am doing this. Okay. So let it be like this. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have our questions ready. I'll just share it in the group once. You can just paste it over in your that particular file. Yeah, here you have, just paste it out. If you don't want to write it by yourself, just paste it out. 5 questions we have. Cool. Okay, 5 questions we are having in my. We have the quiz model ready. That is of no use now. I have the quiz list also ready. That is of use. I can close this also. I can close the stop widget also. I can close the intro screen also. I don't have anything to do with it, and that's it. So now we can proceed further with the, you know, putting the questions basically, right? Adding the questions. Let me just sort of, how many of you are doing with me? Just try to, raise your hand and tell me whether if you guys have added these questions. Just raise your hand once so that I can proceed further. Cool. Okay. So, okay. So I'll continue. I'll continue by adding the questions now in the box, this box. Okay. This is our custom container, right? But currently we don't have any child into it. We don't have any child, like we can't add anything here. Okay. Because see, that is a custom container. Okay. Don't get confused. This is a custom container. Whatever properties you are going to assign it, it's going to use only that. So if I try to use anything other than height and width, it's going to not give me any suggestions. Why? Because it is custom made by me. What all things I have allowed the user to keep here? Only height and width, nothing else, right? So in order to give a child thing also, I need to come to the original place where my custom container has been made. And here originally I have to add here child and give it as maybe the name only child. Okay. And I'll be adding this also as a constructor. Okay. I'll be adding this also as a random custom constructor. So I'll be just writing here the same data type that I copied. And I'm going to give here maybe child. Cool. And here the again the same thing. Remove this and write child. That's it. Okay. Okay. So now I have this ready. It's ready now. I can use this child into here now. And if I don't use it, will give me an error also. Child. Now, yeah. Now I can place all the contents that I want inside this. So I first of all I want this particular thing. This heading, this question heading. And as you can see that here I will be having the question, this text, and below that the question. So obviously it's gonna be in a column, right? It's gonna be in a column, question, then the question, right? So let's make a column here. Let's make a column here, and inside the column, the children, and inside the children, first of all, a text, and that text was, as you saw, question. Cool, and let's check the output. So here you have it. Here you have it. The text. Always you can change the fonts and everything. I hope you remember how did we do that. I am going to use Google Fonts. I have yesterday taught you how do I use a Google font thing. Okay, I have taught you. And in my this, I am gonna use my font size, font weight, whatever I want. So font size, I'll keep it as maybe 20, and I'll try to take a look of how does it looks. Cool. It looks cool, right? Let's add a color also to it. Color, colors dot purple. Okay, fine, fine, right? Do it by yourself. Font weight. So yeah, I hope you guys are till here with me. Done, right? Done writing this. Below this, now I want to show the question. So let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. I will, give it below the text. I can use that particular question list that we have made, and we can use again a text widget. We can use again a text widget. And this time, instead of writing my own data or into a double quotes, I'll be giving the list that I made there. So the name list name of that list was question list, right? List. Come on, come on. Quiz questions. Sorry. The name is quiz questions. Okay, add it here. Questions and quiz questions. First element, that is the, if you see quiz question, it has the total 1 2 3 4 5 elements in it. I want to show the first elements question text. This particular thing, question text, right? How do I do that? How do I do that? Quiz question of 0, first of all. Okay, dot question text. That's it. So basically, I'm catching the first element of my quiz question, that is this. Once I'm into this, it has three properties: question text, answers, and correct answer. So I'm going to catch the question text and I'm going to show it on the screen. That's it. And if I give it a reload, you can see here the question, right? Right. So why I did like this? Can't I code it? You know, by with my hand? Can't I do a static coding or just directly without any sort of um, you know, making these custom things or question list and all these things? If I do the same, then what will be like? What are you gonna learn then? Right? What are you gonna learn then? So that's why I thought let's make a question list where you can go and just edit the question, and your as soon as you edit the question, it's gonna change directly on your screen. How does it looks? How does it looks? If you want to keep it in center, just actually in text you have something called text align. Just give it to text align dot center. Text align dot center, and you will get it in center. That's it. That's it. How many of you shoot this? How many? That's what I told you. If you're gonna make this project along with me, it's gonna be a very useful. People who skipped it, that's they missed it out. You are learning Flutter, and along with that, some Dart also. Main core Dart. We saw some things about object oriented programming today, right? We made our own models, we made our own data type, and we used it, right? The questions are not coming directly, or we haven't hard coded it. We have made our custom, list of questions, and from there it is coming it. So it's like mostly like, bringing the question from backend. So you don't have to do anything when you have backend, and you have to, call the questions from the backend actually. Same thing you have to do, just some small changes. You have to connect with the backend, and you have to just use the APIs or whatever. Or if you are using Firebase directly, you can make a list of question, and when the app starts, you can just load all the questions in your list. So yeah, that requires some sort of things, but this part is going to be the same whether the question comes from backend or front end. Okay, so you haven't done static or hard coding. You have took it from a list of question. Okay, how many of you are with me or doing with me and don't have any doubt? Even if you are not doing with me, you ask any doubt if you have. Okay, I'll be answering it. Or you want me to repeat some part? Can I continue? See, this logical part, this question list and all, maybe can have some, sort of tricky thing. So just ask it out if you have, because so I'll continue. Okay, so this is my first question basically, but I don't have a name of only showing the first question. I want to show all the questions, right? I want to show all the questions. But if I use this, I can show only one question here. I can show only one question here, but I don't want like this. I want that the user can be prompted with different question. So I will show you a sample of that application that I made. Okay, so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about really. Okay, so let me just show you a sample that how we gonna achieve or how do we want. This is our app. need to hit the API once. Give me a second. Actually, that's a free API. That's why it's takes time. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, right? You can see here. See, when I am moving here, it's not that I am removing that particular page. Yeah, you can come back also to the same question. And it's not that I'm making a new page also. I'm not making a new page. I'm not, I didn't code it for 5 times for 5 different questions. If you do like that, do you think that when you will add the sixth question, it will get added by itself? No. You need to have a solution that as soon as you add a question in the list, a new page gets added here without even you adding any code. And that can happen with, again, one more thing. We'll show you what is that. Okay. And here the question gets over, so it doesn't move anywhere. So this is a very cool thing, right? So let's make it like that. Okay. That's what I was talking about. Now let's come back to our field again and our application, and let's continue that. Okay. How do we do that? Okay. How do we achieve that? So I was talking about something called page view builder. Okay. Page view builder. Page view builder is a widget which allows you to on a single stack, on a single navigation stack. I talked about the navigation stack, right? So this is, suppose this is the current screen on which you are. On this only, it will be like a scrollable thing, but from the left or right side. Okay, it's like pages, so you can swipe your pages. Okay, you can swipe your pages. Okay, so yeah, but each and every page will have its own content. So basically, you are gonna make a new um page for each and every thing, a new code for each and every page. Okay, so I will be using page view builder here. So let's see how do we use a page view builder. Okay, let's see how do we use a page view builder. Just give me a second. So we are going to add the page view builder. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Basically, is we don't require like our whole page is gonna shift, right? Our whole page is gonna shift, right? So it's like it will be working like this, right? From left to right. So what I will do is I'll wrap this scaffold. I'll show you how do we write a code for page view builder. So I'll just wrap our this into a page view. Okay, page view, and page view has something like builder and custom. So I'm going to use the builder function in it, and here you have, first of all, I'll tell you what all things do we have here. Okay, let's do control plus space and let's see. Item count, you have item count basically means how many pages you want. Okay, so if I statically code it and write 5, it will give me only 5 pages. Okay, but if I want that it should be dependent on my list of questions, the number of pages should depend on my list of questions. That means I have to take out the length of my question list, and based on that I will use this item count, right? So what I can do is in my item count I will just write quiz questions dot length, right? So with this I will have the length of the quiz question. So because of that I don't have to again give it something, right? I don't have to statically code it. So yeah, now why it is an error? Because it is actually it doesn't has a child. There are a lot of builders in Flutter, like stream builder, you have page view builder, you have you have a list view builder, then you have a grid view builder. You have builders. Whenever we talk about builder, you have something called a property called as builder. You actually have a property called as builder. Okay, and here we have that in the name of item builder. Okay, and item builder is basically a function. It's like a function. So you need to anonymous function we call it, or maybe yeah, maybe yeah. So we have to like return something. If you are using a function, you have to return something, right? So currently here we are gonna remove this child thing from here, and I'm gonna return it, return something. Okay, but item builder actually requires like a function as I told you. So it will be like this, and this whole scaffold, I'll copy the code. I'll copy the whole scaffold code, remove it from here, and I'll add it here in my item builder. Okay, I'll add it here, and here I will write it as return keyword. That's it. Okay, so let me check what error is it giving now. What I did, just give me a second. Don't have any error, right? Yeah. Just listen. Okay, see what I did here is that I hope I told you what is a page view builder, right? Item count also I told you. Item builder is basically gonna build each and every page with new content, right? And here my new content doesn't sounds like I'm gonna add anything new. I'm just gonna change the questions, the text inside this box and these boxes, and maybe the functionality of this next button. That's it. Am I gonna do anything else, or am I gonna add something new, a new screen? No, like I showed you on the first or second day, I guess. Remember, I don't remember. I showed you an application where I had some introduction screens, right? And I was using a page view builder, right? So when I swipe next, everything was different. It was not the same page, or I'm just editing the text or something. No, each page was a different page. Okay, and here also I'm doing the here I'm not doing the same thing. Here the content is same, everything is same, just some text I am changing, and that text is totally dependent on that quiz list, because yeah, I have made it dependent. I made it dependent, or you developers made it dependent, so I don't have to change anything, just the text. That's it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here also. I have written here context comma index. So according to the index, I'm going to change the content. That's it. It's as easy as that. So when you are on the first page of a page view builder, when you are on the first page of your page view builder, obviously the index will be, it's a list. It's a list, first of all. Okay. It's a list of pages. Okay. So a list of pages, if it is a list, it will have some indexings, right? And that again starts from 0. So when I have a 0 indexing, that means first page is going to hold a index of 0. The second page, when I swipe, it's going to hold an index of 1, 2, 3, in that sense, right? So that's what I have written here, index. So it will be controlling the index. So according to the index, the content is going to change. So if I come here now, if I come here and if I click here, and if I try to swipe, you can see a smooth swipe. But there is no change currently. Why? Because currently my question here, where it is, this one, right? Yeah, my quiz question is directly taking a 0 value. But if I remove this and I write here only index, that's it. Just a small change. And you will see a very cool thing that now, if I swipe, you see different questions coming. You see the questions are different now. How? Can anyone explain me, or does anyone understands that just by changing this word index, how it's working, or how it got the index directly of that quiz question? Anyone? Programming, that programming, yeah, we included some page view things, page view builder, but that you can understand easily, and even you have whole Chrome to search about that. But this logic particularly, maybe you need to hear it again. So if you have any doubt, just ask it out. I will clear it again. Okay, so I don't think so. Any doubt? I'll tell you how this works. See, if I talk about one list, if I talk about a single list, indexing is going to start from zero. Okay, one more list, say, and it's like maybe its name is different, its contents are different, but one thing will be similar, and that is the indexing. It starts from zero. So for each list, indexing at least starts from zero. So page view is also a list, right? And as page view is also a list, it is gonna have an index for each and every page. So my first page here is having the index of 0. Okay, second page is having the index of 1. And same thing, if I iterate over my this list of quiz questions, first is this 0, 1, 2. So here also I am having index, and same index I can hold from here and I can show the questions. Right? And that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking the index of the page. This is the index of the page, not quiz list or question list. But as I told you that indexings are common for whether you take any list, you can iterate always. Okay, and yeah, one more thing, that the number of questions are gonna be the number of pages, so it's never gonna differ also. Same number of elements, both will do, both the list will be having same number of element. Okay, and suppose you want to show here question number also, which question you are on. So you can just here include something, string interpolation, and you can write here index. That's it. And yeah, index. And yeah, one more thing, that okay, I'll show you by adding it. Okay, so you can see I have my first question is starting from 0, not 1. Okay, so to change this out, I can just add 1 to whatever I have. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, cool, right? So I have now 5 questions. I will be making some 5 options, and that's it. Questions part is done. Anyone is doing with me? Anyone is doing with me? So we are done with this, and we'll be adding one more thing here. So. Currently, there are more functionalities that needs to be added, 4 options and one next button. So let's create the button first of all, then we'll be creating the, you know, options. Or should we create the options first? Okay, we'll do that later on. Let me add the button here. Button. Mm, so let's make the next button for now first. So we'll make the next button now first, and then we'll be the options. So fine, it's an elevated button. So yeah, you can make it actually by your own also. And child will be just like uh need to position it also. So wrap it again with a positioned widget. Give it a position properly. Currently, you can see it's coming here on top. So I want it somewhere here, right on the bottom of my screen. So what I will be doing here is I will be putting here maybe from top. I will be giving it 800 maybe. I'll take it here 900. Okay, and let's give it a left side also. Of 100 maybe. So the button came here. Now you can give it a stylings also. You can give a styling for it. Okay. So I hope you remember how do we give a styling to the button, right? You can just copy from the custom container also if you want. We added a button somewhere in the intro screen, right? Yeah. You can just copy the styling from here directly and you can paste it there and use it. So here we have the button. It's very big. Make it a bit small. Okay, so here we have the next button also ready and you can change the color to purple maybe, background color. That's it. That's it, guys. So now we have our everything ready. The button also. Next functionality is to add the button that we will be not add the options, which actually, yeah. Okay, next button is ready. Let's give it a functionality of when I click on the next button, it should take me to next. I don't have to swipe it. It should take me next to the next page. Okay. How do I do that is again, it's a functionality of page view only. It's a functionality of page view builder only. How do I do that is I need to assign someone who is keeping a track of on which page the user is. So suppose I'm on the first page, I should have someone who is keeping the track of the user is on first page. Okay. And when I click on the next page, from that track which I'm the record that I'm keeping, I'll just shift or add one more index to it, and obviously I'll be redirected to the next page. So you have something called a controller. Okay, controller, as the name sounds, it's going to control that. So you have something called a controller here, but yeah, you need to declare some variable for it. So it's like page controller. Let's name it as controller only. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to use this controller here. Okay. Uh, is equals to page controller. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to use this controller here, and as soon as I come here in my button, in my property of the button, I can get prompted with something called controller dot. So you can now take to the next page. You have many functionalities here. I will use something called initial page, keep page, page. This maybe, or you can just you have something called jump to, or jump page you have. Okay, suppose I give here one. So what do we get? Let's see. If I give here one, I'll be taken to the next page. So if I click here, I'll be taken to the this page. Even if I click on any page, I'll be taken to the first page. Right? Why? Because I have directly given here that jump to first page. Okay. But no, I wanted that it should get to the next page, whatever is the next page, right? So let's do we have some property called next page? Yeah, duration. Let's give it a duration of maybe in seconds. I'll give or milliseconds. let's give it 100 milliseconds, and a curve dot linear. There's some animation that you have here, and you can see that it is taking me to the next page with some small animation sort of thing, right? With some small animation, let's increase the duration and check the animation how it is. Now it will take very slow in 400 ms. So yeah, this is the animation. 300 will be fine, I guess. So now you can see that on clicking the next button, I am prompted to the next page, right? Okay. So today we'll wrap up here itself, because I want some more people who will be seeing the option things. Option thing is very important. We have to add some functionality, like clicking on one option. When I click on it, when I select it and I click on next, that answer should get registered somewhere. Okay, and that has to get checked with the correct answer. These are some functionalities that I need to add. And this was the UI part only. Currently we didn't have like yeah, logics. You have to play with logics. Obviously Flutter is not only playing with any language, is not only working with the front end things. You need to have some logic also. So we'll be seeing that tomorrow. Okay, that how do I have four options and clicking on single option, I am like that answer gets registered somewhere, and with that it checks also whether the answer is right or not. Based on that, it calculates the result. If you want, I can show you a preview of it. Okay, so to do that, I think so maybe today something is there for people, that's why they're not able to join. People who were doing yesterday also are not here. Okay, so yeah, we'll continue today that thing, so that people can see the recorded lecture for today and they can complete till here. Okay. So yeah, Krishna, you can take over now.
Guys, like you can feel free to leave the session. Attendance has been taken. Thank you.